Hey, what's up guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC 319, Plessis versus Chimaev. This event goes down Saturday, August 16th, 2025. Prelims begin at 6 p.m. It is going down from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. So guys, this event will take place in less than 2 weeks. And I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for it. Again, the main event is great. Some of the fights on the main card could be better. But again, let's get into it. Edson Barboza against Drakkar Klose in the first prelim fight that is showing right now. Barboza, he's stepping back up to lightweight. He's been at featherweight. I don't think he's fought since he lost to Lerone Murphy in that main event. Back in May of 2024, 39 years old. Man, this guy has been around for a long time in the UFC, and he's fought a who's who. Lost to Lerone Murphy by unanimous decision. I don't even think he took a round in that fight. Lerone was just faster, just kind of piecing him up. So, but again, he's can go 5 rounds, no problem. And he's going up against Drakkar Klose, who's just kind of seems like he wins one, loses one. Let's take a look. 1 loss, 37 years old. He's been in the UFC since, I want to say, 2017. Lost to Joel Alvarez. No shame in that. We know how good Alvarez is. Wins over Joaquim Silva and Joe Solecki. It's hard to really know what's going to happen in this fight. I think the value is probably on Klose right now at plus 130. I don't know how you can really trust Barboza as a minus 150. I'm gonna side with Barboza, but man, not a whole lot of confidence in this. I can see people taking Klose as the underdog here. King Green, formerly known as Bobby Green, against Diego Ferreira. And Diego Ferreira, 1 loss, 40 years old. He doesn't fight often anymore. Lost to Grant Dawson back in January. Grant Dawson, he has looked good. Outside of that Bobby Green knockout in that main event a couple years ago. King Green, he has not looked good as of late. 2-fight losing streak, 38 years old. Again, he fought 2 tough guys, Mauricio Ruffy and Paddy Pimblett. Pimblett's really looked good as of late, and he may be fighting for the title next. So no shame in that. I'm going to side with Diego Ferreira here. We might be seeing a Bobby Green that's slowing down. But again, how can you lay that minus 200 price tag on a guy that's 40 years old and doesn't fight often? So I'm going to side with Diego Ferreira. Guy tends to gas out. Maybe Bobby Green picks up the cardio and, wins rounds 2 and 3 or something. But I'm going to side with Diego Ferreira. But again, it's another fight that won't shock me. Gerald Meerschaert against Michael Oleksiejczuk. Michael Oleksiejczuk, obviously the better striker here. 1-fight winning streak, 30 years old. Coming off a win over Cedric Dumas. Lost to Shara Magomedov prior to that. Kevin Holland. Michel Pereira. So he's got some, losses that aren't the best. Meerschaert, he's still hanging around, man. He still gets his submission wins on a 2-fight losing streak. Lost to Brad Tavares and Reiner de Ridder. Well, we know how good de Ridder is now, so I think that was in de Ridder's UFC debut. Tavares, he's still in the UFC as well. I'm going to side with Michael Oleksiejczuk, but the longer this fight goes, I think it's probably going to favor Meerschaert. He's probably the bigger of the 2 middleweights. But I'm going to side with Oleksiejczuk here. Maybe he can get Meerschaert out of there early. But again, how are you going to lay this price tag of minus 225? I just don't get it. But I'm going to side with Oleksiejczuk. Andrade against Lupita Godinez. Again, Godinez, I just have not been impressed with her. 31 years old. Won over Julia Pilastri. Lost to Dern, Verna Janarova. Again, I don't think she beat Ricci. I mean, it was debatable whether she beat Cynthia Cavillo. So, I don't know. I'm just not impressed. Andrade, I don't really know what to expect from her. 2-fight losing streak, 33 years old. Kind of seems like she's fighting for a paycheck, So, I don't really know. I'm going to side with Andrade. But, again, not a whole lot of confidence. Brian Battle against Nursultan Rozaboev. Let's take a look at the odds here. Oh, and Andrade is the plus 190 underdog, so wow. Wow. And I think I'm going to side with Brian Battle here. He is moving up to middleweight. He probably is going to be the smaller fighter against Nursultan. 77-inch reach, though. That's a good reach. But, yeah, he couldn't make weight. He's moving back up to middleweight. So he hasn't fought at middleweight since he beat Takashi Sato. No. Since he beat Tresean Gore back in early 2022, he has not fought at middleweight. So it's been a while. There's Rozaboev. He did briefly drop down to welterweight, but he's picked up a couple wins here at middleweight, I believe. And not against the greatest competition, but I'm going to side with Battle. But again, I just think the odds are kind of way off here. Minus 190 for Battle, plus 165 for Rozaboev. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people coming in on the Rozaboev side, but I'm going to pick Brian Battle. Alexander Hernandez against Chase Hooper. Again, I don't really feel like Hernandez has really done too much since he made his UFC debut, beat Beneil Dariush, and then beat Olivier Aubin Mercier. Just really hasn't felt like this guy's done too much, man. You know, he's bounced around at featherweight, didn't have much success. He's back up at lightweight, you know, wins over Kurt Holloway, Austin Hubbard. I mean, he's not facing the best competition. Chase Hooper, he has looked good since he's moved up to lightweight. This guy, you know, he's filled out his frame. 5-fight winning streak, only 25 years old. And I think he's going to beat Alexander Hernandez here, man. And I think Chase Hooper is a big favorite here. He's currently a minus 280. I'm going to side with Chase Hooper. Moving up to the main card, Jeff Neal against Carlos Prates. Jeff Neal, man, he very impressive win over RDA. I think that was back in, October? Yeah, October of last year. I mean, he really hurt RDA in that fight, and I don't know if RDA blew his knee out or something. Prates, he almost got Ian Gary out of there in the 5th round. Again, he was down in the scorecards. I was watching that fight. And I did have a bet on Prates in that fight. One fight losing streak, 31 years old, but again, very impressive. He went all 5 rounds. And again, almost got Gary out of there in the 5th round. So, and I think he's going to get Neal out of there. These are 2 hard hitters, but I think Prates is just going to march forward and kind of bully Neal, or back Neal up. So my pick will be Prates. Jared Cannonier against Michael Page. Again, man, Cannonier doesn't get any respect. Michael Page, I don't even view him as a natural middleweight here. He's kind of a welterweight fighter, in my opinion. Yeah, he's got a win over Shara. Good point fighter. It's a good point fighter. But I'm going to side with Cannonier here. I don't know why Cannonier's getting such disrespect. 1-fight winning streak, 41 years old. Great win over Gregory Rodriguez. Again, he weathered the early storm, and then, man, he really hurt Gregory Rodriguez, man, and put him out of there. So, again, lost to Kyle Brawl. Took a lot of damage there. Lost to Imavov. So, the UFC just does not like this guy. They're trying to get him out of there. Don't want to give him another title shot, I imagine. He'd have to go through a few people to get it, but again, I think the guy deserves a little more respect than what he's getting, and I'm going to pick him over Michael Page here. Tim Elliott against Kai Asakura. Just not a real big fan of Tim Elliott. 1-fight winning streak, 38 years old. Beat Suman Darji. Guy doesn't fight often, has not fought since 2023. Asakura had a very bad title shot. Performance against Pantoja last December did not go well. 1-fight losing streak. So again, Elliott's going to want to grapple. Asakura's going to want to strike. Who's going to emerge victorious? I'm going to side with Asakura. He's currently almost a 3-1 favorite. Co-main event, Lerone Murphy against Aaron Pico, and the odds have Aaron Pico minus 145. The guy has not fought in the UFC. I think Lerone Murphy has fought the way better competition here. Again, Pico was training for a fight against Movsar Evelev, but Evelev has pulled out. It was supposed to take place as the co-main, and the DeRitter-Whitaker fight did not happen. So again, maybe that's why Pico is a favorite, because who knows what Lerone Murphy's training camp situation was like for this fight. He took it on short notice. 20-fight win streak, 34 years old, undefeated. Again, I don't think the UFC was happy with his past performances from what I heard against Josh Emmett and stuff like that, but I just think Murphy's probably the better fighter here. So I'm going to pick Lerone Murphy. Pico, 13-4. UFC matchmakers are like him. I mean, I was high on the guy too when, Bellator signed him. And then, he was in their development program for a couple years or whatever before he even fought his first MMA fight. Has not fought since February 2024, beat Henry Corrales. So, again, he's had a long layoff here. I'm going to side with Lerone Murphy here to pick up the win. Main event, Dricus du Plessis, the champion, against Khamzat Chimaev. Again, Chimaev does not fight often. He is fighting in the United States for either the first time ever or for first time in a long time. And he's coming off a win over Whitaker, dominant win. Beat Kamaru Usman. But again, I think that the thing you got to watch out for is his cardio here. And I think that's going to play a big factor in this fight, man. I don't think du Plessis is going to be steamrolled by this guy at all. I think du Plessis is being highly undervalued. I think du Plessis has made a lot of adjustments to his game. And like I said, I know he had surgery on his nose a couple years ago, and he's looked good, man. He's got a different kind of frame that most people don't have, a different awkward style. And again, really beat up Strickland in that last fight. They say Strickland came in really hurt in that fight, shouldn't have took the shot, but again, he beat up Strickland. Beat Adesanya in a fight that was going back and forth, and I thought Adesanya was kind of having the edge later in that fight, but he kind of showed a weak moment in that fight. Du Plessis took his back, got in the rear naked choke, tapped him. And again, the guy's been nothing but dominant, man. Coming into the UFC, I never thought this guy would ever be champ, but this guy has shown that he deserves to hold that title, man. And what it all comes down to me is du Plessis has fought the better competition. He's the current champ, and he's a plus 160 underdog, man. I don't think Chimaev gets him out of there in round one. I don't think Chimaev is going to weather the cardio of du Plessis, and I think du Plessis wins this fight, man. So, and probably by stoppage. So my pick is going to be Dricus du Plessis. So again, guys, my picks: du Plessis, Murphy, Asakura, Cannonier, Prates, Hooper, Battle, Andrade, Oleksiejczuk, Ferreira, and Barboza.